So good morning and welcome to our virtual Sunday service with the Center for Spiritual Living in Ukiah. I am Candice Becket and I am the GAP minister here. And I know that that might be a new term for all of you, but what that basically means is I'm going to be filling in until you guys, till this center has the ability to hire a new minister. So that we can keep moving forward and be in good standing with the organization and all of that. So, but that's who I am. And I am so happy that all of you decided to join in for today. And so just remembering all of that, I know that somewhere in this service, whether it's in the treatment or in the music or in the message, that you're going to find exactly your heart's desire for what you wanted to hear today. So it's time to just sit back and receive. So we're going to begin with an opening treatment, and Harvey Baumoel will be giving that. So Harvey, if you'd like to unmute yourself, and that would be great.
Okay, thank you and good morning. So it's good to be here. And so let's just do the opening treatment and let's close our eyes, take a deep breath and relax. And right here and right now, there is a great power in the universe and we can use it. And part of that power in our minds and hearts is the power of balance. Transforming from one feeling or mental state to another. That offsets and releases uncomfortable feelings. And that happens when we do that, we are in balance. And as we see our planet Earth and country going through a great turmoil of disease and a shift in power, we know as we look within that we are strong and filled with understanding and compassion for ourselves and those around us. We see a new vision of things to come. By accepting what is and visioning the future, we are in balance. When we focus on those conditions of the world and our lives that are unacceptable to our hearts and minds, we look for the balance that is already within us. We have stopped trying to control things that are out of our control and allow our acceptance of what is. And this helps us often in meditation to reveal our true path and our next steps. We are in balance. When we are sharp or snarky or express anger at others, be it family, friends, or strangers, we allow ourselves to forgive others and to forgive ourselves for our seemingly justified reactions. We release the guilt or hurt. We come back to a place of peace within, and we are in balance. When we feel our own physical hurt or pain from various bodily conditions we have, we relax and we let our whole body be filled with light, love, and divine mind. Right here and right now, we feel the power of love and courage and strength. We are in balance. When we realize the joy of the season and love of our fellow humans, we are aware that this joy and love is not only meant for us as we see it and feel it and give it to others, but we realize that it is available to us not just at this season, but throughout the whole year. We are in balance. So right here and right now, we feel our body, mind, and spirit filled with the peace and light that comes from within, the joy, the love that comes from within. And we allow ourselves to spread this to our family, friends, and strangers. We are helping create a world that works for everyone, and we are in balance right here and right now. We let this all be so, and so it is.
Yes. Thank you, Harvey. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Now we're going to have a little bit of music from, so take it away, Elizabeth. Well, that was beautiful, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. So the topic for today is count your blessings. And just to be completely transparent, I want you all to know that I I'm was totally inspired. This is actually just last week. It was Dr. David Bruner down in San Jose. So a lot of what I'll be sharing with you were things that came from me from listening to his talk last week. And in Harvey's treatment, he said something, and I'm probably not going to get this exactly right, but Harvey said something about Christmas not being just for a day, but something to take throughout the year. And I so agree with that, and I think it's so important. But that is part of the reason that we count our blessings, is in order to kind of take our spirit and our spirit of light, our spirit of love into the rest of the year, that we don't want it to be isolated just for, the month of December, or even, less, just a couple of days in December. So let's think about what it means to count our blessing. And I want to start with a quote from the Talmud, in which the discussion that is going on is about what is it to be rich? Who is rich? And a wise person answers, the one who is satisfied with their portion. In other words, the rich are the ones who are satisfied with what they already have. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't have more. But I also began to realize, at least for myself, that there's a difference between wanting out of a desire to grow and expand and wanting out of a sense of lack. So I think that that's part of what this quote is about, is being satisfied with our portion doesn't mean that we are resigned to it, that we give up to it, but that we see it for what it truly is, and we count the blessings. There's been a lot of opportunity this year to count our blessings. And I know even for myself, unfortunately, a lot of times it is looking at the situation that the world is in, and you name any of the, we all know the list at this point of what's happened in 2020. And we start to realize that even within those places, there are opportunities to see a greater vision and to move forward in greater and greater ways. But that starts with counting our blessings, even in the midst of what appears to be, maybe for a lot of people, the most challenging time of their lives. So, but in just thinking about it and making it personal and trying to make it real for myself, I thought, well, what is something that I want to have growth and expansion in? And what came up for me is that I want to be happy. Well, it's not that I'm unhappy. I'm actually pretty happy most of the time. But I just want to feel that sense of joy, that sense of fulfillment more of the time. And so, where to start? Dr. Bruner had suggestions. And the first one, which I kind of started to touch on this, but the first one is to think about what makes you happy right now. And there's probably a very long list of things that make us happy. So once we start to accumulate that list, the instruction would be to then look for patterns, look for similar situations, people, circumstances when you're in their presence, or when I'm in that situation, that circumstance, I felt happy, and start to look for the commonality. Because from there, I know for myself, and so I'm able to draw some conclusions, which for me, maybe conclusions isn't quite the right word. It's more like I have some very interesting insights. And because of that, that encourages me to make sure that I'm engaging in those kind of relationships, those kind of situations, those kind of circumstances as often as possible. And I could give you a big old list of my own, but I would really like to encourage you to just play with that idea, to make a list of all the things, look for commonalities, look for what is that key. And one of the keys will be that you were there, uh, but to look at it and see what kind of insights you can have while you're doing that. I have another quote here. This is Og Mandino, who is just one of my favorite authors. And he says, count your blessings. Once you realize how valuable you are and how much you have going for you, the smiles will return, the sun will break out, the music will play, and you will finally be able to move forward the life that God intended you to have with grace, strength, courage, and confidence. Yeah. But I will give you this one example for myself. Some of the happiest I feel is when I am with like-minded people, and that we are all kind of calling ourselves to our best possible self, and talk about how we see our role in the world, where we're going. And so surrounding myself with like-minded people, that makes me feel happy. Another thing that I discovered is when I'm walking in nature, I feel happy. But I actually was able to break that down even more immediately. It's like if I just go outside, I feel happier just going outside and taking a big breath of air and looking at the sky and the garden. One of the other times that I can almost always guarantee I'll feel happy is when I'm singing. But I will tell you, the list goes on and on. There's lots of things that I started to see when I'm with like-minded people, when I'm outside in nature, when I'm singing, and on. I feel happy. But what I know is that I can, with very little step, I can start to consciously put forward effort to create situations where I know I'm going to feel happy. So, one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is kind of look as you look at your list and you look at your commonalities and start to discover this always makes me feel better or lifts my spirits, or and even when I'm already happy, it adds to the occasion or the circumstance if I go ahead and do it outside or sing along. But I started to think about it. It's important for me, anyway, to set a daily goal to seek out at least one of my happiness generating scenarios. So that's what I want to encourage you to do also, is to seek out one of your happiness generating scenarios. And I'll just share this other little brief example for myself. So one of the times I was feeling truly happy, I was pretty blissful, uh, pretty, um, I don't know, satisfied, but content with who I was in that moment. That happens after I meditate. And because I have identified that, it has become really important to me to make sure that meditation is part of my daily practice. And I can, if I'm going to be really honest and transparent, there are days when something comes up and I suddenly am halfway, two-thirds of the way through the day, and I'm not feeling great. And I'm like, oh, I didn't meditate. So to really make sure to put that at the top of my priority list of what I'm going to be doing daily. Because what I know is after I meditate, I feel peaceful, even joyful. And that's how I want to begin every day. That's where I want to end every day, is in that place. So the next of David Bruner's suggestions was that we all need to get comfortable with change. So the first one was kind of count your blessings, and this one is change. And so if we're counting our blessings, things that we already have, things that we know we possess emotionally, physically, whatever. So why change? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, there's absolutely within every faith tradition that I know of, so all religions, things like that, somewhere it states change is a given. So it always, change always precedes growth. Most of us, we don't really want to change. So it is important to look at what might need to change in my life, in your life right now. So currently, we all have needed to change in this last year. We have needed to change. And if we didn't, it became very, very difficult to be in the world. But the changes, we've changed the way we communicate. We've changed the way we worship, the way we do the center. Um, we changed the way we do our jobs, our social life, our shopping. Um, and so there's lots of things that as we saw we weren't going to be able to do it the way we used to do it. We were in a place of um, choice, which is actually the third thing. But right now, what I just want to say still about change is that we need to look at the examples that I just listed, but also to realize that those are pretty superficial. Those are what's on the surface. And we are being called to do change at depth, to really truly embrace what we have said we believe in, or what we wished could be, and instead truly step in to a place where we're ready to embrace. And that's where the change comes from. We also need to recognize that change is happening all around us all the time. And either we embrace it, and by embracing it, it will move us forward, or we cling to the way it was, the good old days, and we can become quite miserable in that. I want to remind you of the Buddha's great saying, all suffering comes from attachment. Even things that were great blessings and great, beautiful moments in our lives need to continue to evolve and to grow and to change. So that's that's what it is we need to start to get comfortable with the idea that things are changing, I'm changing, and embracing that as a way to grow, a way to look beyond. So that brings me to David's final point. And his final point is that we are always in a place of choice. I really kind of had to grapple with this for a little bit because there are some things happening in my life right now where I don't feel like I made a choice to be there. But the fact is, now I'm here. And the choice that I need to make is how I'm going to be here. So instead of choice for me is really different than wishing. So instead of wishing that this or that was different, that this or that situation would just go away, to make a choice on how we are going to be in that situation, how we are willing to show up, that's huge. That is a really big deal. I know I want to be an agent of change. I want to see the world. I want to see my own life. I want to see everybody who's here on with us to this morning. And I want to see us grow and be this amazing, all of us be amazing agents of change. So, what that means is a willingness to make the choice to do my very best. I recognize that my best some days isn't going to be the same as my best on another day. But what it does mean is that I am standing right now, well, I'm sitting right now, but I am in that place right now where I am looking for solutions. I'm looking at how I can help, and the list goes on and on. So those are your three little sub points. Count your blessings, uh, be ready to change, get comfortable with change, and make some choices on how you want your life to be, how you want to show up and be. And all of that comes down to, if we go back to that very first one of counting our blessings, of looking at ways to truly appreciate and truly be present in everything that we do in a place of thanksgiving. So I found this one quote is from William Arthur Ward. And he says, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. And that really hit me because it's like, I can do all this work on myself, but I also really and truly need to stand up and be willing to share. And and I realize that some people aren't going to want the present, and that's okay too. But to go ahead and as we feel that gratitude, when we see where that happiness lies, to be able to share that with others is it's a really big deal. But this is the choice part. This is our willingness to take action in order to grow and to move forward. I know for most of you who are on this today, I have witnessed your own growth, your own choices, your own ability to see that great truth within yourselves, to love it, to be thankful for it, to be gratitude for it. So I know that we're in a really, really good place to allow ourselves to evolve and to move forward into a greater and greater experience of our life in this moment and then is the next and the next and the next. So without hesitation, count your blessings. Be willing to change. Make a choice to be who you know at the very center of your being, who you truly are. So take a deep breath. So I'm just going to give us about a minute of silence. And as always, if you'd like to put a treatment request in the chat, feel free. It's okay if you don't. And in a minute, we'll do our closing treatment. So another deep breath. Take another deep breath. And I'm going to begin this morning's treatment with words from a song that was written by Karen Drucker and Michael Gott. This is what it says. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. And with this truth, with this idea deeply penetrating our hearts and our minds, we open for each of us individually and for ourselves collectively, spreading out to our community, to our country, to the world, to the universe. As we remember, there is only love. And it's love that heals. It sets us free. And so, in that awareness, I can know right now, absolutely, that Harvey is the experience of this love and nothing else. And as it circulates throughout his being, it touches every fiber, every cell, and he recognizes a physical healing that is taking place deep within, and it begins to radiate out. It is a blessing. And I know for Elizabeth also, there is only love. And that which feels like separation from family and friends during this time, we also recognize as a great opportunity to recognize and to choose to love even more greatly than ever before. To be that within her own community, within her own family, to be that loving presence that reaches out and helps to soothe and relax. Everyone is lifted as Elizabeth recognizes there is only love. And I recognize for Gail that right where she is right now, there is only love. So I know for the situations in her life, the daily ones, the ongoing ones, that there is a place where she can see and choose and be the agent that brings healing, that brings happiness, that brings joy, that brings love into every situation and to every relationship that she is involved in, because there is only love. And so, together, as we recognize the truth in this phrase, we feel the blessing of it. We feel the joy of it. And we let these blessings, this joy, this love encompass our whole being. It fills your body right here and right now. It fills the room where you are sitting. It fills the room where I am sitting. It fills the world. There is only love. And as I accept that for myself, I accept it for all beings everywhere, known and unknown, seen and unseen, great and small. Together we acknowledge that all beings are happy, all beings are peaceful, all beings are free, for all beings are God. And we let it be so, and so it is. So take another deep breath. Just relax into this moment. And as we move into the time of our collection, I'm gonna, I think everybody here knows all the ways that you can contribute. Um, and I'm going to put up our offering affirmation. So please stay with me right now. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies this gift with all my heart and with all my mind. I know that I'm saying yes to something I value. With all others present here, we dedicate these gifts to the values and visions we share. So it is. Okay, so I do have some announcements. So first of all, uh, if you haven't heard, tomorrow night there's going to be, it's already going on, the planets or the stars, or whatever, that are creating this amazing kind of Christmas star look. And my understanding is kind of in the southwest, and it's fairly low. So if you're, like where I'm up against a hill, we're actually going to go up in order to be able to see it. And it'll last for a few days, but it's going to look like a Christmas star. Just thinks it sounds very cool. So I wanted to share that with you. The other things that are happening this week are on Tuesday, the first one, Tuesday at 6:30, the Inland Valley Women's Chorus will be doing their annual solstice, Christmas, other winter holidays sing along. Now I am attending to be a part of this, and mostly from what Madge has told me is that she'll be leading songs and you'll be muted, but you can sing along. I think she'll probably be able to share words on the screen and things like that. So it should be pretty fun. And different members of the chorus will be leading different songs. So particularly if you're just looking for that, let me get a lift here. There you go. The Zoom link for that is in the newsletter. So if you just go there, and it is also on our Facebook page. So go to either of those places, and just by hitting the link, it should take you directly in there. The other thing that is happening will be 2 nights later on Christmas Eve, which is December 24th. We're going to be having our annual Christmas or candlelight service. And I think we're ready. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of trial and error, but I think it'll be great. I am asking, and I will put this in the little reminder with the link to please bring a candle that you can light during the service. And what we're going to do is towards the end of the service, there'll be a statement, which is like, fill in the blank, which is, I let my light shine by fill in the blank. But it doesn't, it'll be something, there'll be a couple of suggested statements, but however you want to phrase it, you can. And it's just a deepening of an affirmation of the gifts that we've received through understanding the metaphysical meanings of the nativity. So please bring a candle and a way to light it. Calvin, as I already mentioned, will be doing our music, and so he will be singing. I think there's at least 6, maybe 7 carols. So you will have an opportunity to sing along. And so that's about that. Next, we are still doing our 2021 intentional giving program. And this week, I just went ahead and put the form right in the newsletter. So you can just fill it out, and please return to all, because that way I'll see because eventually I want to stop making this announcement. So as I see that they're coming in, then it doesn't, but Gail will get them at the church and I'll get them here, and that would be great. So please be sure to fill out your form and let us know what you're considering. And we are going to be doing our annual meeting on January 24th. So if we could have all of that information by then, that would be really helpful. And that meeting is going to be really important because we're going to be discussing a lot of, where we're going to be going in 2021 and how that might look. I don't know that any great decisions will be made, but we're definitely going to initiate that conversation. Okay. So also, hopefully you're all finished with your Christmas shopping, but if you're not and you're going to use Amazon, please consider using that link in the newsletter, which is for Amazon Smile, because that way the center receives a portion of your purchase. Doesn't touch you. This is Amazon making donations. So take a look and see what you can come up with. So that's it. So Elizabeth, if you'd like to sing us out, and for the rest, and for all of you, if you'd like to hang for a while. Oh, I forgot, Teresa. Yes, please. Teresa has something to share. One more.
Hi, everybody. We always give we have always given to the homeless shelter throughout the years, and especially around the holiday season. And Bonnie's really been really on top of all that, and Marcella for a while. Anyway, we got an SOS from them this week for some coffee cups because some people had gotten COVID, and people were like in quarantine, and but then they have the need, but it's paper coffee cups because they cannot wash. They don't have a place to wash the cups, and they also could use no milk because they have no place to store it, or coffee, or of course toilet paper, paper towels. I took some stuff over. I took some socks and toilet paper over. They said they can always use hygiene products like toothpaste, toothbrushes, feminine hygiene products. They said they could really use fruit. They could really use fruit, and I could see the importance of that right now. And I would probably encourage, if anybody does get fruit, probably soft fruit. I know when we did the lunches, we thought bananas or oranges, or because sometimes people don't have tea. Anyway, if people are interested, they had the gate up when I went over, but it might have been the time of day. I called them ahead of time. I'd be glad to take stuff over if people don't want to go there. Just drop it at my house, and or call me ahead of time, and then I'll take over stuff. So that's it. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So Madge, I see you just came on. Did you want to say anything about Tuesday?
Yes, actually, I was just about to write it in the chat, but
Well, I already talked about it, but you should talk about it.
yeah, no, you did. Thank you so much, and for including it in your email. Basically, you said everything except we have three really neat guest leaders, in addition to me and other members of the Inland Valley Chorus, many of whom you know already. But Harmony Grissman and Betsy Rose, both of whom are fabulous singer-songwriters, and their songs I have brought to you at various times, especially Harmony, you know her songs. Anyway, they're both going to be leading some of their own songs in addition to all of our traditional and other new and seasonal and whatever. Just, it's going to be a real joyous and heartfelt event. So encourage people. And I really wanted to apologize about last week. I don't know what happened, but I goofed. I even looked at my calendar, but didn't recognize what I had double booked. Anyway, sorry.
Not a problem. I was like, oh, I hope she's okay. So here you are, and you're great. So that's fabulous. So thank you so much, and we look forward to next time.
Yeah, me too.
I look very forward to Tuesday. I'm so totally going to be there, and I'm also excited for next time you're here for us. So.
Yes, I've actually been here for a while, but I didn't have my camera on because I was getting dressed and moving around. Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
that's okay too, because normally I block the screen because I don't want to see myself, so I don't know who's there.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming and being a part of today, and I would love it if Elizabeth would now play us out. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. And thank your friend. What a great arrangement. So that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully see some of you on Tuesday and see all of you on Thursday for our candlelight service. In the meantime, know that I love you. And namaste. We'll talk to you later.